The ongoing pandemic has wrecked the plans of many individuals and businesses alike, and this includes the Asian-based carriers with some with ambitions to seize the opportunities amid the growing aviation market of Asia. However, 2020 has turned out to be a disastrous year for much of the carriers, and a very turbulent start for some of Asia's startup airlines, some who have barely launched or were looking forward to launching their own flights into the skies over Asia. So in this video, I will be featuring what is going on with these startup airlines in Asia, especially Starlux, ZIPAIR Tokyo, and South Korea's newest budget carrier, FlyGangwon. The first airline I will be discussing is the Taipei-based Starlux, which was founded by the former EVA Air heir Chang Kuo-wei, which has acquired Airbus A321 aircraft and recently on January 23rd launched its maiden flights from Taipei to Da Nang, Vietnam. Prior to things deteriorating in much of Asia with the lockdowns and all, the airline would open up new flights to Penang, Malaysia, and Macau, along with the planned flights to the Philippines with flights to Cebu, which were originally scheduled to begin on April 6. However, flights have been suspended since March 21, and the fleet of 3 A321s have been grounded. Pending the easing of the travel restrictions due to the pandemic, Starlux has been eyeing a resumption of flights on May 1st, while the launch for the flights to Cebu has been tentatively rescheduled to July 1st. The next group of airlines I will be discussing will be the new low-cost South Korean carriers Air Premia, Aerokay, and FlyGangwon, which actually began services in the fall of last year between its Yangyang hub in Gangwon province to the island of Jeju. This was followed by the first international route launched by the airline just before the year's end of 2019 to Taipei, Taiwan. After the start of 2020, FlyGangwon announced more plans to launch new services to cities like Taichung in Taiwan and Clark in the Philippines. While FlyGangwon is ambitious to take its own share of the Korean travel market, some have raised concerns over the viability of the airline in the crowded budget travel scene of South Korea, as the Ministry of Land Infrastructure and Transport of the country reported a low factor of around 44% on its flights between Taiwan and Korea. And with the rise of infections in South Korea and the downturn of travel demand has forced FlyGangwon and the South Korean carriers to slash a majority of its flights. And with that, the prospective launches of Aerokay and Air Premia are now in jeopardy. Concerns have been raised even further as there has not been any bailout offers announced for the South Korean budget carriers, while Korean Air and Asiana could be set to receive around 3 trillion Korean won combined from South Korea's government. The third and last carrier I will be covering in this video hasn't launched yet, which is Japan Airlines' budget carrier subsidiary ZIPAIR Tokyo, which has had plans announced for flights to both Bangkok and Seoul from its hub at Tokyo Narita. The ongoing pandemic has prompted ZIPAIR Tokyo to postpone the launch of its maiden service between Tokyo and Bangkok, originally scheduled for May 14, though now that launch has been postponed with no specific date set. Meanwhile, its other planned service to Seoul, South Korea has not seen any change to its planned launch date of July 1st. As ZIPAIR's plans have been postponed, it has been plotting its future, with a filing to the United States Department of Transportation to be recognized as a foreign air carrier to the United States. In that filing, it stated its intentions to operate flights between Tokyo, Narita, and Honolulu, Hawaii, a competitive market amongst the Japanese and American-based carriers, with ZIPAIR setting its sights for a launch date around the start of the IATA winter season for 2020, which this year would fall towards the end of October, around October 25. On a positive note, the Honolulu flights, if started by the end of the year, could pave the way for future budget flights between Japan and the United States. Of the carriers mentioned in this video, the most concerning is definitely the low-cost carriers in South Korea, where FlyGangwon is already the 7th active budget carrier, and the future of Air Premia and Aerokay's launches are now in question. Along with that, the financial situations of the Korean low-cost carriers aren't as well either, with Jeju Air and Asiana's budget subsidiary Air Busan reporting high debt ratios. The carrier I'm least concerned about is ZIPAIR Tokyo, as it is backed by Japan Airlines, though its future has yet to be proven, and whether its low-cost budget approach can take to the skies and compete versus the full-service carriers of the likes of ANA and the US Big Three carriers such as the likes of Delta, American, and United. Though it could be argued that there could be a potential good situation for the Honolulu-Tokyo route, as Hawaii is a popular destination among Japanese tourists. though ZIPAIR will also be entering highly competitive markets of Bangkok and Seoul, which has a large array of airlines operating flights between the countries. Of these fledgling airlines that I have discussed, which ones are you most concerned about and which one are you least concerned about? And how do you see the ongoing pandemic and the recovery effort for these airlines? Feel free to share your feedback on the comment section below. In the meantime, this has been another edition of Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates of the aviation and travel scene in the Asia Pacific. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.